What's going on, everybody? It is I, Photo Dave. It's time for the Monday night live stream. Now, normally, what we do on Monday nights is we talk about all the figures that went up in the last week that are going to look good under your lights and in front of your lens that went up for pre order. Here's the thing, only four went up last week, so we'll talk about them. But then we're also going to be talking about all kinds of effects to help us out with our figure photography. So, for the replay crew, one, which of the four figures, or what did you see out there that you thought was really awesome for pre-order that you think's going to look good in photos? And two, what are some of your favorite effect pieces when it comes to action figure photography? And with that, before I get too crazy, before I jump in on the chat, I want to share something real quick. This is for all of you that are on Patreon, whether you have a free membership or whether you have a paid membership. It's that time to vote. So vote on one of these three images. Just comment in the post with which number you think's the best for the holiday themed December photo contest. And that's all you got to do. So if you're on Patreon, just head in there, type in the number of the figure or the shot that you think looks best. And voting ends on Wednesday at 11:59 Pacific Standard Time. And then I'll announce the winner on this coming Thursday's live stream. So I wanted to get that up there so you could all see what's going on. Now, I'm just going to leave that there while I jump into the chat and see how everybody's doing. Greetings and toytations, everyone. What's going on, Sci-Fi George? For accessories, I recommend the Magic Tribe Universal Chamber. Ah, all right, all right. Might have to look into that. Okay, what do we got? See, AliExpress sells a lot of third-party SFX by themselves without the figures. Nice, and I've got AliExpress pulled up that we can check out too. I'm actually kind of prepared tonight, guys. What's kind of crazy though is I'm not so much prepared with the figure side of things. It's more I'm prepared with the whole effects side of things because, like I said, there were only four, but I remember who they are, so we're good. Attention, Kmart shoppers! Ollie's has upped their sale on toys from 33 to 40% now through the 12th. Wow. All right, folks, so there you go. If Ollie's has anything you're after, looks like it's time to head over there. Now, so here's the question. So a lot of things that were 25 bucks, say from the Star Wars line and Marvel Legends, we're down to like 10 bucks. Is that going to be 33 to 40% off of the already discounted $10 price? Because that's insane. George, Four Horsemen are currently having an in-stock sale on their site. That started today. You know what? I forgot all about that. So yeah, check that out, gang. I knew about it at one time and then promptly let it leave my brain. Hey, gang. What's up, Star? Good to see you, sir. All right, time for another episode of Ask Dr. Dave. Oh, dear. Dave, are there any collectibles you have that you own purely for reasons of nostalgia? I've recently parted ways with my beloved Battletech game. I'm sure there is, Star. I just can't come up with it right now. You know what? I've got some Yoda figures that I won't part with. I have some old Toy Biz Wolverine figures that I won't part with. And as many of you know, NECA's Mirage Studios Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line doesn't really always fit with my definition of what makes a photogenic figure. Here's looking at you, Casey Jones, with your waist cut. So I guess I would say there's some Mirage Studios figures from NECA that I have purely out of nostalgia because I just love the Mirage look. So I think that's pretty much what we got, Star. How about you? Besides the Battletech game. Yeah, I can't see me getting rid of Wolverine or Yoda or those Mirage Turtles. It really hurts, but I can't tell if it's from a love of the subject or perceived pain of letting go of a relic of great times during great years with friends who were tight as family. It sucks. Oh yeah, and I can't help you with that one, man. I don't know. I just don't know. But yeah, getting rid of stuff sometimes that's a pain. Let's see now. Star, how would you interpret it? No question. I love the Battletech universe, but do I miss it or do I really just miss the past that it represents to me? Since I don't know how much you dug it. I'll tell you what, let's try this. How often did you play Battletech when you didn't have a lot of those people around and it was somebody else? I mean, if you didn't really play it much when you weren't playing it with all those people, I would say it probably is just the past. Just kind of that nostalgic connection of the good times you had with it, more so than the object itself. But of course, that's me not having any kind of psychology degree. Anyone else out there have something that hits you like this? If so, how do you cope? Man, I've never had something where I've gotten rid of stuff that I regret, but nothing, it's never been that deep. Let's see. Star, Battletech was huge with me and the guys I grew up with. If I asked them now if they'd care to fire up a game of BT, I can't even imagine the looks I'd get. Just sad. Well, I mean, maybe that kind of answers the question. Let's see. I always thought that growing up and growing old were two completely different things. I think they are. I think they are. There's growing up, there's just maturing. I kind of think of growing up as just we're like I genuinely think we're all basically kids always. It's just some kids have more experience in certain areas than other kids do. And that's pretty much what I would think of as growing up. We don't have to grow old. I am convinced of that. I think that one's totally mindset. Let's see. What's going on, Anton? Good to see you, man. Hola, Mr. Spencer. I will email you. And by the way, John, the 20th is perfect. So if you're hearing this, I'm in for that. See, nice to see you, Skew. All right. John, say it ain't so. Getting out of Battletech as it's hitting its peak. I love Battletech. Can you guys do Battletech online? Like I don't know my Battletech so much. Is it set up so you can all you could get together and play? Oh, just when I thought it couldn't get any worse. Oh dear. Let's see. Battletech is so awesome. What have I done? What's up, LBZ? Good to see you, sir. All right, Mr. Spencer, Star. I don't know, but I understand. I dropped out during Dark Age, but came back a couple years ago. I can tell you right now what I'm coming back into is, I mean, you guys have heard me talk about it, but I'm getting back into Transformers, but that's totally not a game kind of thing. And it's not so much nostalgia as much as it is I just love Transformers and I just got sick of not having a bunch of them. Let's see. Wait a sec. Marcos, are you not feeling so well, man? What do you got? What do you got? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There's a lot of I don't even know what to make of that string, but I like it. It ends with thumbs up, so I'm good. Star had thousands of dollars of Battletech from over the years, but just working all the time, no room, no one left to play. Yeah, I could see that being rough. See, four. Let's see. Hello, Kyrus. Good to see you, man. Oh, not very often. Working every day. John, Jimmy Buffett has a song, I'm growing older, but not up. I like it. Oh dear, Marcos. Giggity. What's going on, Spaded One? Good to see you, sir. I don't know why I just thumbs up the screen. Awesome. Good for the 20th. Sweet. I'm good with that, John. Thank you. I don't know why I didn't like I could have just emailed you back and been like, yeah, that works. Battletech is more of a board game, but there are ways to play online. See, that could be something that could help out some, maybe. I don't know. See, I'm about to buy the CT yellow black stripe Wolverine. Oh, the tiger stripe. Nice, Kyrus. What's going on, Nathaniel? Good to see you. So much emojiness. Hey, but hey, at least the emojis show up. All right. So that's what's going on. Again, guys, if you weren't here at the very beginning, just talking about this. If you have a Patreon, if you're just on the Toypixx Patreon, whether you're a free member or a paying member, the voting is up. So head over there, vote for your favorite of these three images. You have until Wednesday night at 11:59 Pacific Standard Time, and I'll be announcing the winner on the Thursday night live stream. All right. John, I need to get a good Wolverine. I only have a black suit one and it's okay, but not great. I mean, people are really all good with CT toys, it sounds like. So you might need to go nuts there. They've got the brown suit and the tiger stripe. It's crazy. Those new Cthulhu figs that went up for pre-order at BBTS look interesting. I fully agree, Star. I saw that. That doesn't necessarily count as last week, but we could probably chat about them a little bit. In fact, let me open up. Let's get into that right now. I'm going to go first to the ones that I was planning on talking about. And we're going to stop this screen so my head can get gargantuan. It's called its own planetoid. I was quoting that movie with a buddy of mine over the weekend. It was kind of funny. Okay. And the worst part was the butt of the joke was his wife. But, you know, it happens. All right. So we are looking right now at, hold on, I got two of these windows open. I got to make sure this is the right one. All right. Cool beans. I want to go find, this is, that wasn't it. Hold on. Okay, first off, you know what? Let's talk about some of these. Even though this wasn't up for the weekend, I want to talk about this because Maestro Union made Kilowog, which was the veteran William, right? So I want to give a huge shout out to Big Bad Toy Store right now. I got Kilowog for Christmas, and I love the figure. He's absolutely amazing. But what happened was this. I was trying to pop his head onto the ball peg, like I was just trying to swap out his head, and it wasn't going, and I was using my body for leverage. His leg snapped off as it was pressing against my body while I was trying to change the head. And I thought, whoa, and I got a hold of BBTS. I didn't expect anything. I was cool with everything. I was just like, hey, is there something we do or you guys do for when something like this happens? And I explained it to them how it went down. And they sent me another one, which was absolutely amazing. But here's the deal. So on the second one, the right elbow joint is frozen. I've tried the heat. I've tried boiling it, or I've tried boiling water. I've tried putting it in a cup of water in the microwave. I've tried the hair dryer. I even tried putting it in the air fryer. Actually, the mom thought, let's try the air fryer. Like, we did everything we could. I took a blade and tried cutting around it. I used dental floss to try and get into the joints. That thing is frozen on the new one. Like, it is not budging. So I say that to say two things. Again, BBTS is awesome for sending out that thing. But two, that's the second Kilowog I got from Maestro Union that is having QC issues. And might I also add, the reason I couldn't pop the head on is because in both of the extra heads, the holes were too small. And if you look at the head that came on the figure versus the other two heads, there are three different hole sizes for attaching the neck peg. So I'm saying this because I'll show off Blade Master Wang. I always think it looks cool. I don't know that I can get stuff from Maestro Union anymore because their stuff is just riddled, at least in my experience. And to have the heads having the same problem, it seems to me that's just a big time defect. And to me, that's a problem. Like, I was fully expecting the first one I got to just be a bum figure. But then when the same thing's going on with the second, plus the elbow's frozen, I don't know what to do anymore. But anyway, that was just a long-winded way of bringing that up, seeing if anybody else has a problem like that. What do you guys think of Maestro Union? They're obviously gorgeous figures, but I definitely had some bad luck there. I mean, this thing looks amazing. So yeah, this is Blade Master Wang, just a different version of him. I do love the head sculpt. Wonder if that head has a decently sized hole on it for the neck peg. That is not nice. All right. But yeah, the detail on all these things, it's amazing. But when the execution doesn't quite get it done, it kind of doesn't matter. We talked a little bit about that with CoverGirl. The first CoverGirl in Classified, it just wasn't executed well, even though she has the look everyone wants. And the second CoverGirl looks like she's going to be executed much better, but she doesn't have the look everyone wants. But yeah, I think this guy looks amazing. And obviously he qualifies as a photogenic figure. All right, I'm going to head to the comments, see what you guys have going on. See, I have both the brown and tiger stripe. They are great. There you go. That's awesome. There you go, John. This whole hobby is about nostalgia for me. I cope by buying more toys. That works for me, Nathaniel. See, what's up, Marcos? All right, Star. What do you have? I love that. Mind if I adopt that philosophy? Do it up, Star. Do it up. We all just collect by whatever reason, like I say, the Mirage Studios line, I shouldn't have them based on the photogenic figure qualities of them. But I love them. We all have our exceptions to our own rules. Let's see. What's up, Tragic? Good to see you, sir. Money. Tragic. Sorry, what's frozen? I had some issues with some stiff figures, such as a few Mezco, and I blasted a little WD-40 and wiped it up, moved smoothly. Maybe I'll try that next. So, Tragic, I have let's see, can I reach it? Give me just a sec, guys. It's right here somewhere. Oh, here I am. All right. So I've got this Kilowog, and this piece right here, this elbow joint, is 1000% frozen. Like, I've done everything I can think of to loosen it up, and it is not coming off. Or, I mean, it's not bending at all. So, yeah, it probably would help if I enlarge the screen. But basically, it's the Kilowog or Veteran William mold, and this elbow joint is just not moving. But yeah, WD-40 might be something I try next. All right, what do we have, Skew? Try to open the head hole wider with needle nose pliers on the head. Switch out the arm from the first one. My best suggestions. No, I did. Okay, so I have switched out the arms. It's good. But I thought, you know what? I've got this other figure. Let's see if I can unfreeze this elbow. And then it's like two of them. But yeah, this elbow is not allowing such things. But yeah, you're right. And one thing, I don't have my Dremel tool here right now, That's what I was thinking of doing to expand the hole. But pliers might be, I mean, I have them now, so that might work for me. Yep. Let's see. Ah, must push buttons. I haven't gotten any Maestro Union for that price. I'd hope for less QC issues. Yeah, yeah. But I know a lot of the price that's baked into it, though, is the fact that it's being imported. So it doesn't bother me. It honestly, it probably doesn't bother me as much as it should. It would be like if a Mafex figure came in and it wasn't great. I know that they're like $50 in Japan, so it would suck, but it wouldn't bug me as much as somebody else who doesn't factor in shipping, you know? I've heard of similar situations from other guys considering Maestro Union or concerning Maestro Union. Sorry to hear that, Dave. That's all right, Star. But I am surprised. I don't think I'd heard anything. Everybody was just singing Veteran Williams praises. And here I am with a Veteran William mold and it's just being a pain. The only Maestro Union I have is the first Blade Master. No issues with mine. Not sure if I'll get this second one. Got it, LBC. This one does look good. I mean, I like them. I love the look of both of them, and I'm glad to hear that yours didn't have any issues. Skew, let's see. Woo-hoo-hoo. It's good to see the people, gang. Oh, Marcos. All right, Harry, what do we have here? I have the V2 Veteran and V2 Blade Master and Croc, or all are good, just wish they had more soft goods. Got it, Harry. Okay. So I wonder if it's just the run of kill awards that's the problem. And Veteran Williams actually okay. Skew. I have First Master Wang and the nameless one, the rabbit. Awesome figures, but far from perfect so far. I love them, but better with soft goods upgrades. Joints can use some work, tightening up too. Okay. I had the Croc. Like I had Crocker. He was just difficult to handle. Like it wasn't that I had problems with joints. Oh yeah, I have Croc. No issues there either. Yeah. Ooh, let's see. What do we use for joint tightening, not loosening? Let's see. What would you guys say? I've never had to tighten a joint. I've heard, what is it, some kind of like floor polish or nail polish, stuff like that to get in the joint and just keep moving the joint because it widens it just enough. Anybody else on that? I can see BBTS should help, but WD-40 did work. I'll check it out, Tragic. My problem with getting a hold of BBTS again is I don't want to ever get to that point where I sound like the boy who cried wolf, you know? Like I might have another problem in the future and I don't want to just keep saying, yeah, this same figure keeps having trouble. Plus, they took care of the real problem, you know? It's just this one elbow. I know shock oil to get to move. You know, that's something else I've got at my place. Erg. Thank you, Skew. Something I should have thought of there too. Star. Ouch. I just ordered two of those from BBTS shipped today. Just great. Well, Star, hopefully, here's what I would recommend. Hopefully because in my first copy, none of the joints were frozen that I'm aware of. So my only problem was I tried switching out the heads immediately. The head holes will probably be different sizes for you, so just keep that in mind. Pop off the head that he comes with that is on him so you can see that size and try to match that head size with a Dremel tool or pliers or whatever before getting too crazy. But truly, before you do that, I would heat the crap out of this guy. I would make sure everything moves smoothly. Because, like I said, the first one didn't seem bad. It just snapped because I wasn't messing with it enough before I tried doing everything else, you know? Skew, White Rabbit, Nameless especially, is pretty floppy. I still love it. Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense. If you're going to have a floppy one, it should be the bunny. All right. Kairos, Mondo Clayface will probably come out this month. Waiting patiently. Nice. Yeah, Mondo's crushing it with their stuff. It looks amazing. Skew, I've heard people using super glue if you can separate the parts or floor wax slash polish. Let's see. There's an awesome soft goods kit for Wang. I also got an Usagi soft goods set for the White Rabbit guy from GPS Lot. Nice. Okay, we're gonna. There's a lot going on in the chat, guys, so I might miss a few. What I'm gonna do though is jump in, and we're gonna close out Blade Master Wang here, who is awesome. Let's see, Old Man Out of the Mountain version, it says. And again, it looks good. So I'm hoping, because I haven't heard things like this from other people, I'm hoping it's just a problem with Kiloward. Now, oh, there is something. Well, here, let's talk about this Cthulhu looking guy who is absolutely insane. Like, you could use this thing with pretty much every kind of figure you've got out there. Just a little monster guy. It just cracks me up. And obviously, you're going to need, I mean, if you go and get this, you might want a couple for like a little weird Cthulhu little dude army. And I shouldn't say little dude army. I haven't even looked at the size of this thing yet. I just know it's 1/12 scale. Those are some serious weapons, though. Let me go look at some of the other things it says there. 5.12 inches. All right, so if you get 1/12 scale figures, they should be considerably smaller than most of them. But yeah, he's pretty cool. And he's definitely going to work for your photos without any doubt. Now, this is something I wanted to bring up. I just want to see what people have to say about this thing. This is M01 Steel Fortress slash a third party Metroplex. Now, I'm not really into the whole third party Transformer scene. It's mostly a question of budget more than anything else. This, I don't think Hasbro would ever try and compete by making a 4 foot tall Metroplex. So I wouldn't feel like I was taking money out of their pockets here or anything. But yeah, this thing's 4 feet tall. That's insane. Now it has an insane price to go with it. On BBTS, it's 1,300. I believe on Gundamit, it's 1,100. And I don't know as far as the down payment. BBTS is usually like about 10% of the total is what they expect from a down payment. But yeah, this is just ridiculous. Like I say, it's not something I'm going in on. I don't feel like spending $1,300 on this thing, but I'm not saying it won't be a beautiful display piece. And if any of the people on YouTube that do the Transformers thing grab this, they're going to get a whole lot of hits, no matter how good the video is, just because of the curiosity people are going to have for this bad boy. But yeah, I'm just impressed that this was made. That's pretty much where I'm at. Like, oh, 4 feet tall. Awesome. Let's see. I'm gonna try and catch a little bit here. I just wanted a definitive werewolf fig, and those crypt werewolves were showing some QC issues. Thought that the Kilowog would have been a safe choice. I'm telling you, Star. I mean, honestly, like I say, I think the first one would have been fine had I heated it up. But you are gonna have to look out for just the hole size when it comes to the heads. Hopefully, it won't be as bad on yours, but both of my copies have that same problem. So my gut is it's probably line wide on that. I need to check those out. Let's see. Must push more buttons. All right, what do you got, Tragic? Shock oil will work really well. I didn't have any. I figured it was the same stuff, and WD-40 pulled through. Just be mindful and just spritz it. Don't full blast it. Man, are you kidding, Tragic? I am totally ready to full blast this thing. Let's see. Oh, pledge. Okay, pledge to tighten the joints, I assume, right, Kyrus? Let's see. Floor polish, not cleaner. Nice. Okay, okay. Ghost tab for tightening a joint, use nail polish, or let's see, cover it with super glue or coating it with super glue and letting it dry to create additional volume. That makes sense. All right. All right, guys, I'm going to skip a bunch. My apologies. Let's see. I've seen videos about Kilowog and they all had problems with the neck piece. Uh oh. Well, there you go. Just the fact that the plastic will break like that is a terrible sign. I prefer the plastics that bend rather than break. Long live Jada. That's fair. That's fair. Let's see. What do you have? What's the pro tip here, Skew? See, get some kikis for Maestro Union. They should pose better that way. Ah, kikis, kikis. I should know what that is. I've heard people talk about it in the past. Is that floor polish as well? Let's see. Facts, John. For sure. I love random monster guys. They work in most scales. Yep. Looks like a Scooby Doo monster. Yep. H.P. Lovecraft. Yeah, yeah. When it says Cthulhu, although I usually think of Cthulhu as being like having the big tentacle head, you know? This is horribleness. That's you, Dave. Third party Metroplex is fire, I hear. Let's see. Pose with Galactus challenge. Oh, I'm out. I'm not getting this thing. I just think it's crazy. I've also used masking slash duct tape to create soft volume and reduce friction. I use that technique from drilling metal when let's see, when the surface is too smooth. Oh, I got it, Ghost Dad. That makes a lot of sense. Appreciate it, sir. Let's see. That Metroplex is so cool, but no, that's way, way outside my budget. Oh, yeah, yeah, there's no way I'm getting it. But just the fact that it exists is kind of cool. 4 feet sounds like the very definition of unwieldy figure. I know. I remember. So I was trying to pose. What was it? It was two Galactus photos ago. The one I did a shot where he's rounding a building and Kirby and Stan Lee are in the window. And that took me just to bend his knees a little bit and bend him at the hips was a pain in the butt. I can't imagine how tough Metroplex would be. That 4 foot Metroplex can replace the family that will leave you after hearing you spent over $1,000 for a transformer. You might need a few of them for that. But on the plus side, if the family does leave you over that transformer, well, then that's fewer mouths to feed, and this guy you don't need to buy him food. So really, you save in the long run by getting Metroplex and having your family leave you. That is a terrible joke. My apologies. Let's see, Phil, my buddy commercial, some big dudes, Galactus, and third party Metroplex. Yeah, no, no, that's insanity right there. Toypixx, I just got the Frazetta's. Ooh, wait a sec. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I think I read that wrong. I just got the Frazetta's Norman figure. It's really good. Norseman, the Norseman. I've heard good things. I've heard good things about the Frazetta girls stuff. Marcos, you're having all the fun. I like it, man. LBZ, that sucks about the Maestro wolves because I was leaning towards them rather than the loose collector wolves, as those feel like they're gonna snap plastic wise. Yeah, I mean, maybe, like I say, I think my first copy would have been fine had I heated it up. But this elbow is just a pain in the butt, and you are going to have to expand the holes on the heads too. Hey guys, my friend got me One Night from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Let's see, they do call her a Time Lord, so I had to have her. One Night, huh? What series is One Night from? Or am I, or was that a typo and I don't know who One Night is? And you're going with Renette. To quote a line from Cannonball Run, if you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly. If you're going to make Metroplex, make it big. That's fair. That's fair. Kairos Toypixx, with that Fortress price ticket, you can buy, let's see, ticket to Sweden and check out some hot Swedish women. This is fair. This is fair. And you don't have to feed them either. That is, what is wrong with me? Skew, let's see. It's just like floor polish. There we go, Skew. Thank you. I appreciate it. Reminded me what it was. Couldn't remember the name. Don't feel so bad. You're good, Skew. I appreciate it, man. I know that people have talked about it. Like I was on YouTube trying to figure this out. I always wanted the original Triptychon. He would have been really cool to have in my collection, but no. You know, Anton, they are re-releasing the Titans Return Triptychon this year. He'll probably be around $200, but yeah, probably cheaper than the original, honestly. Facts, that Metroplex is fire. I think that the Four Horsemen gang is going to get some first-hand knowledge of unwieldiness when their dragons come to town. I hope, I'd be willing to bet they just seem to put so much love into their stuff. I'd be willing to bet they're going to have it mostly figured out. But oftentimes with something like that, there's that one thing that you just don't count on. HOV lane passenger, dummy dual roll, third party Metroplex. Nice. All right. Yep. Just seat him in the passenger seat and be like, no, seriously, we're carpooling, guys. Harry, there's a video online of a guy handling that Metroplex. It looks very floppy. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, it's almost got to be. Like how tight you'd have to make the ratchets on this thing. Lots of kikis. Annette the Time Warrior. Really? I know Renette the Time Warrior. That might be who you're talking about, Anton. But if it's Annette, let me know which series she's from in Turtles. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Those limbs look like they weigh as much as mine do. Let's see. Aquarian Myth of Emotions is going to release this week. Finally, some Macross related mech design. Let's see. 4-foot Metroplex is the version I thought we were getting as kids. Man. If they'd had the Titans Return Metroplex as kids, it might as well have been 4-foot. Let's see. It looks like a toddler mix. That's awesome, Harry. Yes, I'm dressing my kid up for Halloween. See, I'm not familiar with that. Looking now. See, that would be cool to take it apart and seal the parts to a little jumpsuit for a kid's costume. Sci-Fi George, fun fact, the original brown Listerine was made as a hardwood floor cleaner. Didn't sell well, so the inventor took out a few ingredients and made it mouthwash. Hence, it was so strong and burned. Ah, that's the kind of Listerine we need today. Nathaniel, but have they announced a 4-foot Triptychon? It's kind of useless otherwise. Can you imagine? Because not only would Triptychon have to be the same height, it would have to be much longer to cover for the tail. That thing would be insane. That would be a near $1,500 figure on Gundam. Anton, there is another Transformer where an entire little robot, and it was Spike in the series, and it was Spike in the series where he becomes the head. That one's the head that Spike was Cerebros, and then Cerebros turned into the head of Fortress Maximus. That's right. I kind of know stuff. Wait a sec. Yeah, that was Renette. All right, sweet, sweet, Anton. That's awesome. It's from the TMNT universe of the comics. Yep, yep. She was in the Mirage series when that came out. And I think she's been in a lot more since, too. How would you even get photos? You'd have to have a huge monitor behind this thing. And I'm not sure you could get photos of, like, you'd have to take this thing to Lucasfilm and put it in the volume to get quality photos, I think, of this bad boy. Sci-fi. I want to see someone mod Metroplex into a cat's lair. That would be fun. All right. Macross and Aquarian were created by Kawamori. Aquarian is not that good, but I'll take what I can get. All right, all right. Let's get out of the Metroplex talk. I just thought it was crazy that this thing was even a thing. I mean, I'm not mad about it. I think it's awesome and can't wait to see people talk about it online or like post videos, you know? Okay, now, where were we? Ah, okay, so there were four figures to chat about here. One is the painted one. Chinese gods and ghosts, the painted skin, my apologies. Check this out. This thing is about as freaky as it gets. I looked at all the things. She is quite photogenic. She doesn't seem to have much at the waist as far as movement is concerned, but she also isn't crazy defined in the tummy. So in the stomach region, did I just say tummy? Huh. Anyway, she's not crazy defined there. So when you twist her at the diaphragm joint, you're not going to get a huge break in the sculpt. I mean, you'll still get some break, but this is just like what weirded me out is truly the face of this thing. And this isn't a funny looking figure like the others we've discussed, but it's just messed up and it moves like, I mean, the poses that they've got her in are crazy. So obviously, this is the kind of figure that is going to look great when it comes to photos. But then look at that face. Isn't that adorable? You kind of wonder, is the painted skin the flesh tone or is it the mouth? Yeah, I mean, she comes with all kinds of stuff. That's just ridiculous. I mean, that is a very cool figure. Probably not long for my collection, but she is cool. Skew, got to take a pic of 4-foot Metroplex and 4-foot Triptychon fighting in the plastic hall. Let's see, in the plastic balls at Chuck E. Cheese and on the slide at McDonald's Playland. That would be fun. They would be. They'd just be basically toddlers. Ah, I see. I'm still only halfway through Macross Frontier. Owned it for years. Oh man, more of that I have to check. Yes, I have her first appearance in the comics. Let's see. For where? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Cerberus. Yep, when he showed up, that aardvark. I wonder if they're going to make a Cerberus for the Mirage line. Anyone know the quality history to Unix toys? I'm so tempted to pull the trigger on that Robotech Veritech that they've got up for pre-order, but I know nothing about their track record of quality. I don't know, Star. I can't help you there. Filmed in IMAX. See. Macross Frontier movies fixes the issue. I got nothing on that. Fantastic. Okay, so let's get out of the painted, which was it? Let's see, the painted skin. And then we talked about Let's see. I believe they're. Hold on. I know the names. We have Test Man here from Damn Toys. And that's just basically a crash test dummy. Who remembers the crash test dummies from way back when? You know, the toys that would actually break heads and break cars and crash them through windshields. Good times. I miss those. The ones that got recalled and taken off shelves because, hey, that's not good. Except I thought they were hilarious. But yeah, there's a test man for you. It's not crazy pricey compared to a lot of the stuff that I talk about on here. He is 30 bucks. And then there's another one that they have called Gray Man. Oops, hold on. Maybe they use the EY. There we go. There we go. And there's Gray Man, who's going to be good for anybody who's a customizer and needs a thin body. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say about these. They're cool. They come with all the things. They're photogenic. Get them if you dig them. And then the last thing that we talked about, or that I showed off in the newsletter, but many of us talked about it already, was this Nile crocodile. And yeah, 240 bucks. That's what we call pricey. But you gotta love the realism. And I think this was, hold on, let me double check this. This is about 16 inches long. So I kind of think it probably fits in with Bandai's pricing model. That doesn't mean I'm going to get it. That doesn't mean I don't think it's crazy money for it. I'm just saying I think it probably makes sense the way they price their other stuff. Because most of their stuff we'll say is around 6 inches tall. This is 2 2/3 times that as far as length is concerned. And that's not just another skinny tail. That thing's got some weight to it, it looks like. So yeah, this thing's pretty awesome. I can't I can't get over how realistic it looks. And if I were swimming in my millions by now, I probably would be very tempted. In fact, I would be very tempted to pick up a couple of these. But, 240 for one of these is a little much right now. Still, I love the look of this thing. So we'll see what the people are chatting about here. Dave, look up sexy ice mantis. Ooh, that might need to be something I check out. I remember, unfortunately. Let's see, you can learn a lot from a dummy PSAs. I loved them. I thought they were hilarious. Anton, Service was a very controversial figure, and I don't see, let's see, will ever make an action figure. Cerberus. Got it. Okay. Because the original creator kind of went crazy. Oh, I did not know that. I had no idea there was nuttiness. It looks good, but I haven't heard anything about Unix toys. It doesn't look like they're trying too hard, unlike the God of Flame I got. Man, John, I'm a little jealous of that God of Flame. I'm going to need to get a Skyfire soon, I think. See, make a nice art model. I totally agree, Skew. You could hit that thing with some light and you could see what happens. You could kind of learn how to draw, how to make light work on your own stuff. That crocodile with Croc Master, huge money, but fire. That's the worst. Is I'm sitting here looking at it and thinking, imagine if Croc Master had two of these. So we're only spending $500 on two crocodiles for toys. Let's see. Yes, they were from PSAs and they had their own Saturday morning TV series. I didn't remember the Saturday morning TV series in an action figure line. One of them was voiced by Lorenzo. Is that the same guy that was Venkman? Yeah, I didn't remember that. I remember the toys. Remember, let's see, NHTSA odds, or let's see, ads and the band. Got it. I don't remember the band, Nathaniel. Oh man, Fiona's baby daddy. Yeah, that's everybody's baby daddy. You don't mess with that croc. I predict that croc will go down in price. Maybe on Amazon you can get it for half price if you wait. You know that might be true, but even half price, 120 is a tough pill to swallow for that thing. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Agreed. Yeah, I think you're right. Crap. I was looking forward to that one. Oh, oh, I think that came across the right way. Let's see. The God of Flame is trying too hard. It's over engineered. Not sure it was worth it. Oh, really? Oh, man, John. Okay. The one from Unix Toys seems like it might be a better value. Okay, gotcha. Is there anyone in here who's in the know about Jada and has some idea of when the projected release for Edge Runners Main and Rebecca might be? I wish I were in the know on that because I'm loving what I'm seeing from David and Lucy. Okay, so we got that talked about. Now let's get out of here. Whoop! Hi, it's me. Excuse me. If you've got a glass, it is time for a quick guzzling intermission. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ah! All right, intermission over. Haven. Now, I want to go into BBTS again, different BBTS screen. And I want to talk about effects. That was kind of what we were going to chat about a little bit here. Now, I want to find out from you guys, what are the effects you see that you think you can really make work? Now, we've talked about this smoke effect. And I brought up someone, I can't remember who it was. My apologies if you're in the chat tonight. Someone brought up painting this, and I said maybe lights would be better. And here's why I would say that. Here's why I would think that. What if, let's say, you decide that you want to use blue lights in a shot and blue smoke makes the most sense, but you also want to do something later on where it looks like this is smoke coming out of fire, so you want to use orange. You'll basically just decide to paint it whatever color and then maybe won't be able to use it with other stuff. But if you get different color lights and you light it from underneath with like a flat panel LED, then you can hit it with all kinds of color, whatever you want, and you can get tons of uses out of it too. So that's why I would say instead of painting this, try lights, unless you're going to buy a bunch of them and paint them all different colors. Now, I have seen this used in photos already, and I don't know, I don't remember who it was, but one thing I noticed about the smoke effect is it does have that really almost too perfect look. What you're going to want to do when we get this, and make no mistake, I will be getting this, is you want to have it far enough away from the figure, either behind it or in front of it or wherever, so that the smoke effect itself gets good and blurry. Because if it's not good and blurry, it's going to look it's going to be translucent, but it's still going to look solid. And that's not the look you're going to want when it comes to smoke. So yeah, I mean, I wanted to make sure we brought up the smoke here. Let's see. Haven't heard of Wave 2 release. Nope, neither have I, Skew. Let's see. And the voice of Garfield. That's right. I forgot he voiced Garfield too. Anton, yep, recognize that voice. Sounds funny on a crash dummy. Everything sounds funny on a crash dummy. See, I'm loving their Wave 1 already, and they haven't even shipped yet. Man, Star, have you seen all the reviews? I mean, nobody has anything bad to say about them. Jada is killing it. Kairos, oh, that smoke effect is awesome. I think getting 2 might be really effective in your diorama photography, Toypixx. I totally agree, Kairos. And I'm thinking 2, maybe 3. Like, you can use this smoke effect for almost any scale. You could use this with Lego figures. Like, that's awesome. I love this effect. And I think this is one that if any of us If any of you are really into the photography, I think this is one you should try and get. That smoke effect is awesome. Truth. I think a fogger would be more useful. I think that it might be, I think a fogger would be very good, but here's the trick. You want to get one that doesn't use chemical. And I know Tragic had sent me a link to one that just used water. But if you have, say, a cardboard diorama, or if you have one of those dioramas that uses the foam and all that stuff and is painted over it, you don't want to use the fogger just because it'll get it a little damp and might potentially harm it. If you have this, you're going to be able to do some other stuff. Or, I mean, you're going to be able to use that with the cardboard dios and other stuff like that. But I do agree that a fogger would be a great thing to have as well. Great idea. No point in painting these. Let's see if they'll take LED lights. Yeah, and I think you can light them from the bottom, and that light should move all the way up. Especially if you're going to keep them away from the figure. That way it won't affect the figure when you light them up. Star, maybe mix in some rear projection of smoke onto glass. Always worked great in early film. That sounds like a cool idea, Star. I've been thinking I need to get some glass. I need to get some mirrors. I need to do a lot of that stuff. That might be a great idea. Harry, Nostalgia Unboxed did a review, the smoke effects, or was it Yimbo? I know that I had seen that he had put a thumbnail up where it looked like he was talking about effects, but I hadn't seen the video yet. Nathaniel, the Tamashii Nation's water effect could be useful. It has a few different configurations. Yeah, we're going to go check that one out too. Tragic, just because it is me, I would have to make my smoke effect with LEDs. I have no problem with that, Tragic. You can light things up very nicely. All right, so let's head over this way. And it's not all going to be Tamashii Nations this fine evening, but I totally agree. I think the water effect could be very cool. Imagine using something like this with Storm. And this, if you light it up from the back, is really it's gonna give you the effect you want. And I think it might even give you the effect you want without having to move it far away from the figure, unlike the smoke. So I think this is something that could be very cool. And I think about it with figures, any kind of water-based figure. Like if you have a Hydro Man in your collection, this would be amazing. I'm thinking Storm could use it. I mean, it could be just waves crashing. You could have just water coming after some figures. Maybe there's a water monster. Maybe there's this crazy, you know what? This picture makes it look like maybe something's jumping out of the water. Or I'm sure you could set these up so something's jumping in. Like, I really like this effect as well. I think my favorite is probably the smoke effect, but I do like this one quite a bit. So let's see here. What do we have? Skew, CapCut, and other editors also have digital smoke effects. You could take a still from that too. Yep. I know if you guys have, now they might have it so that it's a PNG file and you can just plop it on your stuff. I know that I've been putting together some haze and some smoke and all that on the Patreon, which all that stuff's totally free. If you guys want to check it out, click the effects on the Patreon. It might have the smoke that you need. It might not. I don't know. But I hadn't heard of CapCut. I'll definitely check that out. Something else that I read today, and let me know if you guys have messed with this because I want to know and I want to play with this if I think it's going to work. Canva apparently works in layers. And I want to know if we can work with things like create motion blur in a similar way that we do with Photoshop, where let's say you take a picture and you copy that picture and paste it above like the normal, right? So you have two layers of the same picture, and then you blur one of them and mask out the top so you see just the blur going on, like a motion blur. Can you do that kind of stuff in Canva? If you can, I think that's free and it would be incredibly helpful to a lot of people if I could figure out how to make that work. See, Storm and Namor. Oh, Aquaman. Why did I? How about I don't forget about the actual water guys? Thank you, Skew. Let's see, as Maxwell Smart would say, oh yes, the old smoke and mirrors trick. Oh dear. All right, tragic. See, I have been getting into resin effects. I have been trying to make waves and also fire. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, tragic. Well, when you're ready to start selling, you let me know. Maybe make your own flexible water parts using clear Elmer's glue or clear epoxy mixed with some blue food coloring. That could be Star. I know if you guys follow, there's a photographer named Mate Mylar that posts, and every effect he uses is practical. And he had a picture, and I probably have brought this up before, where a bunch of bats were getting shot at. And what he did to make it look right was he used hot glue and lit the hot glue up from behind, and it looked like spark effects, it looked like fire effects. It was amazing. So, yeah, that trick definitely could work as well. But yeah, I got a hold of him. He's a cool guy. I got a hold of him and say, hey, do you mind? Because I know a lot of people don't want to share their secrets. I said, hey, do you mind letting me know how you did that? Because that's awesome. And he told me, and it's just much appreciated. Skew was going to say your Patreon smoke is better than wet, soggy dials and cardboard extreme set Dave. Well, I do appreciate that, Skew. Let's see. Or blue ink dye. Yep. Yep. Oh, see, now you're just coming up with all the figures that I totally didn't even think about. Thanks, Anton. Would be cool to see the Loch Ness monster. Yes. Can also use that method for making fire parts. See, Torum, try using clear 3 millimeter and hot glue to form water. Really? Okay, I had heard it was the hot glue, I think, that Mate was using, but I don't know. What do you mean 3 millimeter? Help me, help me. I used it to make Gundam beam blast effects. Oh, that's cool. See, and part of my problem is the time, like I would love to make a lot of this stuff. I just don't have a lot of time. So I might end up doing more buying than I'd like to. Get some respectable light effects using tiny reflective parts on targeted areas and laser pointers hitting them. That's not a bad idea either. I know there was somebody that was using some crazy lighting stuff, like for lightning. And I can't remember. I wish I could remember the name. It's no good. It's no good. I assume 3 millimeter is the diameter of glue used in the glue gun. Oh, got it. Got it, John. I appreciate it. Yep, that's probably accurate. Okay. So those were the big ones that I wanted to make sure to bring up were the smoke and the water effects. But there was one other that I thought was super cool. Oop, not that one. Hang on, hang on. I mean, that's cool as well, but that one would be tougher to make look real, so to speak. Check out this effect. It's like you're bombing some mud or like an explosion goes off in the mud and the dirt kicks up. Now it's for Ultraman, which I'm assuming are all these parts as well. I would get this and I would never use these parts. So if I ever did get this and you guys have Ultraman stuff, let me know and I'll send these to you. But yeah, I think that these dirt effects are really cool as well. You could have somebody stomping. Again, we have a little bit of a too perfect thing going on. So you might want to have them out a little ways or really use a high aperture, as in like a, I don't know, like a 5.0 aperture f-stop, so that you can blur this a little bit if you need to get right up on the figure. But yeah, I love this effect as well. Let's see, using clear 3 millimeter bendable to form the general shape and then use hot glue to add on the shape to make look like water with different, hang on, what do we got? What do we got? Ah, different amounts. Ooh, these are good ideas, guys. I appreciate it. Superhero landing with those effects would look boss. Yep, I totally agree. You just have something just stomping around. This could be Godzilla just going for a stroll. Mud is awesome. Beachhead and Dusty, especially. Any military figures, etc. Kaiju's awesome. You know what? I didn't think of that, but you're right. Any kind of military scene, like I know I've got, and this, I swear I'm not meaning to pimp the Patreon so much, but I've got like or beach backgrounds that you could put this in front of and it would look like a war zone. I even did one of the beach backgrounds I did was intended to look like a war zone. So you can put this in front of that, put your figure between this and the background, and have just this crazy explosion looking deal. I'm starting to realize I put together a lot of this stuff. Let's see, I just see these for Cyclops Optic blasting the ground. That would be sweet too. Let's see, Power Rangers would also love that mud. Facts, for sure. And there's, since you guys were bringing up like superhero landings and all that stuff, there's also, let's see, where'd it go? This right here. I think this would work pretty well as well. This one would just be tougher to make when it has to be right close to a figure like that. It's going to be tougher to make look real, so to speak, just because you're really going to have to focus in on the figure and focused in to a point where you might need almost a macro lens to make sure that this part out here gets as blurry as you'd want it to get to look right. That doesn't mean I don't think it's awesome. Like, this is sweet. I mean, check that out. Like, that's not so bad. And all they did was light it from the bottom. It's possible you don't have to go too far out for this. Like in my head, you had to, but with some lighting, you can make this look right. And I do love that. Like all the uses that Tamashii Nation shows off with this stuff, like a big punching effect, a blasting effect. I do think this is very cool. All right, so let's go now. I want to head over real quick. Where do I have it? Where do I have it? Here we go. I'm going to get out of BBTS. I know, poor BBTS. But then I want to go over to here for some super action stuff. Now, for the most part, we're not looking at a lot of effects here. I mean, we're looking at a lot of cool stuff that they've got, obviously. But for instance, if we are checking this stuff out, we have the Casket of Cruelty with all kinds. Let's see here. Let's see if it actually lets me click on the product itself. All right, let's try this. I'm all over the place. Here we go. See if I can blow this up a bit. So obviously, I would say the blood splatter effects, I think these are really cool. They're, again, kind of tough to make look real, but you might be able to do it. You just need to mess around a little bit. You just need to light them right. And oftentimes what can happen is they'll look right if you just light the figure that they're attached to. So super action stuff does awesome stuff. We've talked about them several times in the past. I love a lot of it. I love this swooshing effect for the sword. But again, you know, like with me, my job or what I like to do with figures is I don't necessarily want things. I mean, they're obviously toys, but I don't necessarily want them to look like plastic. I want the shot to be cool. I want it to look like it's real. And so sometimes it's tough to do with this stuff, which is why I have a lot of the effects going on. But at the same time, I want to get better with practical effects. So things like this are things that I want to start loading up on. I don't know about the rest of you, but that's there with that. And then the other one, let's see, was there, did they have the green? Here we go. The Cursed Crate. This has basically the same kind of effects, but green. So basically at this point, you're basically aliens that are bleeding out all over the place. Or maybe those of you who have xenomorphs, when they get shot, this is what fires out and then fries their victims. Good times. The imagination goes nuts with this stuff. All right, let's catch up here on the chat real quick. I know, Skew. I need to get a Goku still. I need a 3.0 Goku that's not Daima. Like, I need regular Goku. Could you use these in the foreground and monitor in the background for depth? Absolutely. You can do that. I assume we're talking with the mud effect and with the DBZ effect. You absolutely could do that, Nathaniel. Generally, with a monitor in the background, what you want to do, I've heard enough people talk about how they have a hard time with light hitting the monitors while they're trying to make this stuff work. So if you can, you want to try and keep your figures kind of at least a few inches, depending on the size of your light source, at least a few inches away from the monitor. If you have those small lume cubes, you can probably have them fairly close and it's not going to affect the monitor. But if you just got larger LED panel lights, then they need to come out a little further so you're not bouncing onto the monitor as well, or like, so you're not bouncing onto that as well as the figures. So it just depends on what you're using, what your lighting is, how big the monitor is. But I would say for something like this, absolutely, you could put this in the foreground. And if what's going on is you're just using the monitor and the back as the background, that you probably could have these quite a ways in front of it, no matter the size of the monitor, and still be okay. Skew, monitor deal really works. Saw Mike the Hunter 203 use it in a great way. I'll have to check that out. That's the one thing that I'm really excited about with The Office is I'm going to end up with a monitor, and putting that in the background is going to be an absolute blast. You can use brown styrofoam to look like cracked ground around the shockwave. I've seen this. Actually, Tragic sent me something a while back that looks like cracked concrete. That's really cool. Because I know that they've got Tamashii Nations did something similar to what you're talking about. In brown, I think they did it in gray as well. Maybe use glass sheets painted with varying degrees of blurred land and sky distance, let's see, to show forced perspective when you don't have huge amounts of space to shoot in. That could work. That could work. And if you guys have a decent sized monitor, honestly, you'd probably be okay. Just try and find something to elevate your figures on, and you'd probably be good to go. My only problem, and like I say, Star, I love that suggestion, but really it is a time thing for me. So if you guys have the time to paint stuff like that and do that, by all means, go for it. I know that I've got a bunch of backgrounds to be used for monitors, but if you can come up with something on glass and all that stuff, that would be amazing. It would probably look really good too. Let's see, I see a lot of shock blasts, but not so many sonic booms. The blurry circle for super speed hits. Yep. Yeah, sonic booms would be kind of cool. Let's see, I'll be trying out the Casket of Cruelty soon. Nice, that's right, John. Let's see, there's some wind effects that might double for sonic booms. I did notice some of those when I was looking too. There are some wind effects. Okay, got it, Yep. Jada Guile has some booms too. Let's see, if they make another player version, double dip for more booms. That's true. Dr. Van Helsing versus Dracula. There you go. Star, much of those effects you can make on your own using thermoplastics or epoxies. With the right lighting, all you may need to use is something as simple as glossed, crumpled black paper. I'd be all for it. Again, if I had the time, I would totally be figuring this stuff out. Let's see, an affordable alternative for household items like Rule Life DUI or DUI. Sorry, guys. Do-it-yourself miniature sets. The doors and furniture might be too small, but the other items like dishes and appliances look right for 112 scale. That'd be cool. Have you guys seen? So, what is it? Mini Brands. Mini Brands has like household items things, and I'm curious, but they're $8 a piece, and I'm not so curious to blow $8 to try and find something that's 112 scale. I think Mini Brands is a great idea, and if somebody did them as 112 scale, that would be amazing. Anton, you can add the red and the green and have the blob devouring somebody. Nice. Let's see, I got the idea from, let's see, The Office, Dave, Toypixx. Show us your awesome backgrounds with your figs. Great episode. I mean, I'll check it out. If I could do some of that stuff, that would be fun, Skew. Appreciate the idea. See, all right, Anton. With the boxing gloves, you could have a fighter fighting the aliens from Mars Attacks. That would be fun. See, I got the idea from looking at the 80 Years Hulk. It just cracked concrete plastic around a green shockwave. I don't remember. No, I do know what you're talking about now. Having fun yet, Marcos? Star, I might try to use thin, flexible pieces of colored Elmer's glue or epoxy to apply to the head sculpts of Jada's Street Fighter figs to get the bruised and beaten look. That would be cool. That would be awesome, Star. Skew, June said they might have head packs coming. Ooh, Bruce Street Fighters, stay tuned. They might have head packs coming. And when June says something like that, I tend to think, hey, this is happening. Oh, even better. Yep. Yeah, somebody interviewed June and suggested it to him, and he said it's possible, maybe. Stay tuned. I love it when they're all sneaky like that. Toypixx, do you know? Let's see, when's Toy Fair? Hold on, I'll look that up right now. When is Toy Fair 2025? New York Toy Fair 2025. It is Saturday, March 1st through Tuesday, March 4th. There you go, Kairos. Most of my blood effects are hot glue with Citadel blood for the blood god paint. Citadel blood, huh? Is that a? I'm assuming that's a paint brand, right? Because I mean, I can see me just putting together blobs of hot glue to see what I could do. All right. Crossing my fingers and toes that June does a Killer Instinct classic line. It'll just be 11 fighters, including the boss idol, and he can double dip with player two colors. You know, that does seem to be kind of their thing. I wonder how they're going to do that with the Scooby Doo line. Are they going to be able to double dip with the Scooby Doo line? Like, you can get Shaggy in a red shirt, but what about everybody else? Yeah, Citadel is Games Workshop's paint brand. Awesome, John. Thank you. Games Workshop, Citadel Paints, Paya. Awesome. Get some, Dave. Man, Blood for the Blood God is the name of the color. Citadel is the paint company. Thank you, Mr. Madsen. I appreciate it. I really hope he does before I start using Classified and Marvel Legends to make customs. he's he's gonna make some cool stuff. I think June's gonna do. I mean, I don't know that he's gonna do that, but I think, I mean, truly, right now in June, I trust, ladies and gents. I think there's a lot he's got going on that, I mean, we're gonna be pretty blown away. All right, so we have 8:20. I'm going to call it at 8:30 just because, well, I got up early today and I got up early the last few days, and maybe I should keep getting up early. It kind of feels good to get a lot of stuff done before people start texting you. So, yeah, I'll make it 8:30 tonight. But are there any other effects or any other ideas you guys have for effects that we can chat about before we get out of here? When is the Scooby Doo line scheduled for release anyway? Somebody brought up the pre orders. Was it you, Skew? Did you know when the. I can't remember if I saw that interview with June or not, but somebody brought up when it happens. John, I got up early, then had to stay home due to snow. Nice. Except, is that nice? Do you still get paid when you stay home, John? That's what's key. Skew, two waves, one this quarter, another summertime. Nice. That's what I love about Jada too. I know it sounds terrible, but I love that it's kind of a trickle, so it doesn't just assault my wallet. I do not get paid. Oh, that is much less nice, John. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. So let's get out of here. Yeah, we'll just spend the last few minutes here chatting. What do you guys have? Ideas? What do you got? Or we can just chat some of the stuff we chatted about. I originally had no interest in Street Fighter or Scooby at all, but Jada Quality has won me over repeatedly. Now I want them all. Star 1000%. I am in that same boat. Jada truly, and I know this sounds insane, they don't have any lines with licenses that I just absolutely adore. Their figures are just that good. If they ever made, like I've talked about this, if they ever made a Looney Tunes line, I would go nuts. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm getting it all anyway, but the Looney Tunes line would be one of those lines that I would get over the moon that they put that together. I would be so excited about that line. And with Hanna-Barbera being owned by Warner Brothers, hopefully that happens. I'm there. Skew, it'll be fire. I'm there too. Oh yeah. What do I have? What have I added to? Oh, check this out. I now have the complete run of Jada Mega Man figures. At least what's been released so far. Pretty excited about that. I still have to finish catching up on Street Fighter, but once I do that, then I go back. Oh, and I have both Chester Cheetahs. Then I go back and I start getting the cereal monsters and the universal monsters. And then I'm pretty much there. Plus, I still need to get David and Lucy. But truly, like the Jada army is real. I need these things. Congrats, Dave. Oh, thank you, Skew. I appreciate that. I was pretty excited when I got that. Actually, the mom's like, "What's the one you have left?" And it was Elect Man. She surprised me and just ordered Elect Man, which is insane. My family's nuts, people. I'm surprised NECA hasn't done supernatural figures, or maybe they did. I don't know, honestly. If you guys can see, hold on, let's see. If you see behind me, see on over here, on the dining room table there, that's basically been my makeshift studio the last couple months, is the dining room table. Just so you know, so you're aware. I've been shooting basically with my smartphone for I think the last 3 or 4 months. So I can't wait for this office so I can load up on the camera and start having a blast. But I figured you should see that. Just cracks me up. Anton, yes, getting up early is actually a good thing because you get so much done, laundry, work, chores, everything, etc. Yep. I got to exercise today, and I haven't been doing much of that because I did something to my left shoulder. It feels amazing to get up early and do that kind of thing too. I'm behind on Street Fighter and Mega Man. That's all right, John. I've got a lot of catching up to do on Street Fighter still. No judgment here. I think I've got 8 figures to get from that one. Ross had the cereal monsters if you need them. Count and Frankenberry. I've heard that skew from a few people. I need to go. When's the last time I was even there? I might go Friday and check out Ross and see if I can find them because I think they were like half off, weren't they? Because I would love to get, because I heard about Count Chocula and Frankenberry. I totally got to load up. Jada needs to do Mega Man X. I'd settle for Proto Man, though. Jada, whatever Jada does. I mean, I think we've all established we do like us some Jada. Oh, man, Marcos, I have nothing. I got no way to put all that together. But I appreciate that you're commenting, man. Thank you. Let's see. What do we have? Dave is pulling a Zack Snyder doing quality work on just a smartphone. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. But it is tough to get, like smartphones can do so much more than they used to be able to do, but I just don't have that lens control without having the camera. So it's kind of tough, but I certainly appreciate that. John, I have a professional photographer friend who said that an iPhone is plenty good for a camera unless you spend a good amount on a camera. It's great. I mean, it's amazing. But like what I'm talking about is so the lenses that I have a telephoto lens that's just amazing. I can get better angles while making sure that the background is blurry. With this, like I can set portrait mode, but I have to be a certain distance away from a figure to set portrait mode so I can get that blurry background. And because of that distance, I can't go at the specific angles I want to go at to take the shot. Whereas with the lenses I have on my camera, I can be a lot crazier with the angles and I can blur the backgrounds a lot better. They have a feature here like their portrait, not portrait mode, but you can zoom in on a figure, like hold your phone really close to it, and you get like the little flower symbol for macro mode. But that doesn't blur the background as much as I'd like. So there's just, I mean, he's right, but there's just things that you just don't have quite the control if you're getting crazy with your photography. Let's see. Yep, Dave, $9.99. Awesome. Yeah, I definitely got to swing by Ross. Hopefully they've still got some. I remember seeing some Universal Monsters and just didn't get them for whatever reason. Shockingly, for me, if I had to drop 1 or 2 more lines from my queue, Jada would probably beat out even the mighty SHF. Blows my mind. Those Edge Runners are a fantasy made manifest. The quality, you cannot argue with Jada's quality, especially for the price. It's amazing. Like, there's a reason that everybody loves Jada right now. I just hope they're able to keep it up for as long as they can, because eventually something's probably going to happen. But until then, I'm super stoked to get their stuff. Obviously, you probably have to get, let's see, Mega Man's sister. Roll, huh? I mean, if she comes out, game on. For sure. But yeah, it looks like I'm going to be making a trip to Ross at some point. So hot glue is definitely a way that we can do a lot of these effects, which is kind of awesome. I like hearing that. I just don't know. I've got to be able to find some time to do it. Hopefully I'll have a little more time in the office, but I'm just not sure. In the meantime, I've got to buy the effects, but if you guys can make them for cheap, go for it. That's amazing. Only real competition for me is 3.0 DLX Transformers. Starman, DLX. You know what, though? I keep thinking about it, and I keep saying, DLX are mighty pricey. They are, but it's not like it's not like they release 5 of them a month, like they're pretty spread out, aren't they? So even if you were to get them all, I mean, they're pricey for sure. I don't want to downplay how much they are individually, but even if you got them all, it's not like you're spending a lot less than if you decided to say get every Marvel Legend out there or every DC Multiverse figure out there. So like DLX line, it's a hit to the wallet for sure, but then once that hit's gone, it doesn't add up like those other ones. Do you get cut? Like I keep trying to figure out for myself the same kind of thing. Like pricier figures mean fewer figures, and they also mean that you're probably not gonna spend as much money, even if you decide to complete the line. It's really messed up how it works, but I'm not mad at it. Star Jada is king. I do not doubt. I fully agree. I support this opinion. Give a rush and beat or roll and beat 2-pack. Let's see. Give a rush and beats or roll and beat 2-pack. I don't know. I need to look this stuff up. I don't know I basically know Street Fighter 2. Toypixx, the Frazetta Conan figures are going to be epic. I think there's going to be 3 versions of Conan. I think we've talked about those in the past. It's ridiculous what all they're doing. Like their figures look incredible. Star, yep. If 3, maybe 4 DLX come out this year, that's a lot. Yeah, see, like I know it's a big hit to the wallet, but you're spending what, 750 to a grand, right? If 3 or 4 come out. And like I say, that's a ton of money. But if you're just collecting Jada, which kind of comes out of a trickle, and DLX, it's not terrible. Have a good night, Anton. What? Hang on. Sorry, guys. I kind of got booted there for a sec. But it's about time to go anyway, so that's all right. We're going to click one more comment, and then this is it, gang. So appreciate everybody stopping by. Rewatched your best female figures, and honestly, the Hasbro Fortnite Lynx is very underrated in terms of articulation. It's like really well made. It's been a long time. I remember being curious about that Lynx figure. I just never picked her up. I'll have to see. I'll have to rewatch that. It's been a while since I did that one. So that's it, gang. That's it. Let's see if Jada doesn't do Mega Man X, DLX, because X is my favorite fictional character ever. Great show, Dave. Next time, gang. Appreciate it, Star. All right, guys. Thanks as always for stopping by and hanging out. It's massively appreciated. I love talking this stuff with all of you. Hopefully, we all learned a little something about making effects. I know I did. About purchasing them if you don't have the time to make them. So, until next time, have fun. Happy snapping. See ya. This is the wave part. This is the